project a global conspiracy against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating, and it's been months up to now. No charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never, ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent, watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent life that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now.
Free am now be. Oh mama Biafra, where you dey? We dey wait for you to come our way. Simon Ekpa, you dey fight like lion, keeping Biafra safe from Zion. Oh mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our Prime Minister. We no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want them strong. We Simon Ekpa we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout. Mama Biafra, yeah, I'll call no doubt. Enemies close, but we stand up tall. Together we rise, we no go follow. Oh mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our Prime Minister. We no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. In unity we go dey strive. Fight for freedom, we go alive. With courage and strength we dey fight. Mama Biafra, our guiding light. Oh mama Biafra, your children they cry. Finland free our Prime Minister. We no go lie. Our enemy they try to annihilate. Free am now before it's too late. Freedom no be small something. Now waiting we dey demand without fronting. Biafra land we want them strong. With Simon Ekpa we go march along. From the east to the west we dey shout. Mama Biafra, yeah, oh I call no doubt. Enemies close but we stand tall. Together we rise, we no go fall.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows we can never stop until Biafra is restored. We are peace-loving people. We abhor death and killing of another soul. It's in our nature, that's how we are. But because of that, they have been coming and killing us all these years. We've kept quiet. They've been killing and killing and killing quiet. We have a case at the ICC. We have a case at Africa Union. We have a case of what else again? Pending before the UN in New York. We've been to Geneva to tender our case. Before UN, till today, nothing. In fact, the more we complain to them, the more they come to abduct and rape our children, the more they come to kill us, the more they want to take over our land and our forests. And who told them that's going to be possible in our time? In a time, in a movement that I lead, you think you can come into our land and take it over? Oh dear. That means you don't know who we are. 30.
How they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent watching. Biafrans reject the global conspiracy against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating, and it's been months up to now. No charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never, ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent life that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I appreciate you. Wherever you are joining us from, please like and share this program to family and friends. Share it to your neighbors. Make sure that this information gets across to anyone that you can be able to reach. We are still on the message of Biafra. Our freedom is sacrosanct. Biafra has been declared on the 29th of November 2024. The United States of Biafra have come to stay, and there is no going back. Today, we are pursuing recognition of the United States of Biafra. So wherever you are domiciled, support United States of Biafra the best way you can. Put your money where your mouth is. Continue to pray for United States of Biafra. Support Dr. Ngozi Orabueze to push the recognition to the whole world. Wherever you are, do not walk away. It is the responsibility of every one of us as Biafrans to make sure that we take this message to the end of the world. We will continue to demand the release of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the release of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. But that will not make us to stop. We will even get stronger and tougher. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, we must continue, and there is no going back. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, please join me on this program and let's push this message to the highest level. Like and share as you join. Make sure you invite at least one person to come along with you. Share on your own WhatsApp group where you belong. Share to family and friends. Share to anyone you can reach so that this information can get to those who is supposed to get to. My fellow Biafrans, we are going to listen once again to the broadcast that was made earlier in the day so that we can be able to key in and know where we stand. Let us watch. And remember, for some of you who are scared of marginalizing you or doing this, there is no marginalization in Biafra. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went ahead to say that there's no minority. The minority language they use, they tell you this is a minority tribe. There is nothing like minority in Biafra. After we have fought and got our country Biafra, there are nations that made up that Biafra. Each nation can be on their own and use their resources for themselves. Each nation, whether you are 3, 4, 5, 6, no matter how many you are, you'll be entitled to utilize the resources in your area to develop your area. Nobody's going to interrupt or intrude. It is a blessing. that you are born with. You didn't make yourself who you are. We did not choose the tribe we are going to be. We never chose where we are going to be born. We found ourselves on this planet Earth, and eventually we saw that we are in the old southeastern region, Biafra land. And there is nothing anybody can do about that. Not even you. You can't change it. You can't change it. It's not in your hand to decide or change. The only thing you can do is to relocate. If you're not comfortable living in Biafra land, you can relocate to any part of the world, pick up their citizenship, and yet your ancestors knows who you are. That is why today people who were sold in slave trade are tracing back their root to where they come from. Even though they have good life where they are, even though they are living comfortably well where they are, they trace where they come from. And most of the time you see them returning to their root. There are so many that have returned to their root. So you can't change whom you are, where you are, but because it wasn't your making. It wasn't your making. You can't change it. You can only change what you made or what you built. My fellow Biafrans, we have gotten to a time that every single one of us have to be very careful and watchful to what we listen to what we hear, and what we speak about ourselves. We must learn to tell our story. There is no excuse to give today and say you were not told. Your forefathers did not tell you. Your father did not tell you. You have to dig out information by yourself. In 21st century, in this our generation, every information is in your palm. It's left for you to make research and you find them. That is why we have to take our story and tell it. Do not allow the enemies to tell your story. If they do, they will never tell it to your advantage. Never. The enemies will never, ever tell your story to your own advantage. And that is what is happening in the Zoological Republic today. The smear campaign against the Biafran people continue. Each time they have the opportunity, they will throw in that smear campaign. Each time they have the opportunity, they will throw it in. They will never see you as one of them. It doesn't matter how you try to please them. It doesn't matter how you try to make it. They will never see you as one of them. And that is the truth. The earlier you realize that you do not belong to that contraption called Nigeria, the earlier you realize that, the better for you. After we did the program we did yesterday, explaining the unity in the Biafra land, and we were using our brothers as a case study, the Igbere people. We were using the Igbere people as a case study yesterday. And we played a video where you saw somebody spoke, and in that speech, if you listen very well, where the place he was talking about respect for each other, which there is. In as much as some of us that are ignorant and arrogant also, there are some people in the mainland that see people who are not in the mainland as inferior. Some Biafrans in the mainland, they see some people in the coastal region as inferior, which is very, very wrong. Some Biafrans, even within the mainland, they see each other as unequal. Some feel that they are more superior than others. Well, that is human nature, but it is wrong. It is very, very wrong. And because of that very thing, some people capitalize on that to destroy the image of Biafra, to cause confusion among us. And that was the card they played during the Civil War. During the Civil War, they played that card of smear campaign. They preached a message that destroyed Biafra land, that created enmity among our brothers and sisters. They went in and began to tell them that your brother wants to dominate you. Your brother wants to take away your image. Your brother want to take away everything that belongs to you. Your brother want to kill you. And some people believe that story. And they forget. They believe that story and they forgot that that is when you know who is your brother and who is your sister. When the corpse is smelling, that is when you know who is a brother or a sister. When somebody dies and the corpse is smelling, that is when you know who is the brother and sister. Only a brother and sister can stand. Without covering notes or doing anything, they will be there. They forgot that Izukam man and age. And some people bought into that lie and they turned against their brothers and sisters. They went ahead to push a propaganda and blackmail, smear campaign against brother. They tell you your brother hates you. He wants to dominate you. He wants to take over your property. He wants to take over things that belong to you. That very message that trickled down from Ahmadi Bello, that message Ahmadi Bello preached in BBC. They brought it and narrowed that message down and preached it in Biafra. And some people bought into it because of their selfish interest. They bought into it. And they succeeded in dividing us within the Civil War. The reason I'm speaking about this topic today is because of a video I saw. That video was made by somebody from Oduduwa land, a Yoruba man, who fought on the side of Nigeria during the Civil War. In that video, that man was trying to explain why Biafrans lost the war. And his explanation, he ended up on that same smear campaign. The reason he gave there that made us lose the war is a blatant lie. It has nothing to do with the loss of the war. He was only trying to promote that same smear campaign. The agenda of the caliphate, the agenda of the British is what he's trying to promote. But if you are not careful, when you watch that video, you will think he's making sense. He's not making any sense. And we are going to digest that very video. After I play that video, then I will give you an account, a more reasonable account on why we lost that Civil War. These informations are very important. Why did we lose the Civil War in 1967? The war that took the life of more than 5 million people, mostly children. The whole world stood by and watched, and yet they did nothing. They did nothing. Why did we lose such a war? It is not because we don't have the manpower. It is not just because of why did we lose that war? It's a very strong question that we need to ask. Because we are going to recover what we have lost. We are already in the part of recovery, and we have already recovered. The redeclaration of Biafra that has been made on the 29th of November 2024 is a very strong and irrevocable move. Biafra have been redeclared. And it's time for us to guide ourselves, watch closely to what you listen to the propagandas that are going to come, because they are already coming. Before we go further, I would like to play that video. Let us pay attention to what this man has to say. I want you to pay attention. We'll pay attention to every single statement he makes. Then later on, we'll bring down another account, which I'm going to read out from an article that somebody wrote. Then it will help us to understand the situation better. Let us hear this man out.
Who are educated people. They are well read. It only shows you that truth is timeless. When lies will go for 1,000 miles, the truth will only need to take one step.
Exactly.
People who are looking for the truth. What happened? Why did we lose this war?
The question is, why did we lose the war? I want you to hear his own account. Why did we lose the war?
Before the war in this country, the Igbos had 37 officers.
Before the war, the Igbos had 37 military officers. Before the war, the Igbos had 37 military officers. And I want you to listen carefully what he's going to explain.
Using the word east.
Did you hear that? He started by saying the Igbos had 37 military officers. Then he said, using the word east, the old southeastern region. Now you understand when I tell you that when these people talk about the Igbos, they are talking about the old southeastern region. Some people don't understand it. Anytime you hear a politician in Nigeria, more especially these people that are bent on holding this contraption together, whenever you see them talking about the Igbos, they are talking about the old southeastern region. This man is telling you that before the war, that the Igbos had 37 military officers. Using the word east. Excuse me. Using the word east. So when we say Igbos are not just those people that speak in that tongue. When you see Mazen Nanakan say we are all Igbos, whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you want to believe it or not, it is a reality that is staring at you in Nigeria. I want you to hear again from this man what he said.
Had 37 officers. Using the word east.
37 officers using the word east. That is, these 37 officers are from the old southeastern region. Get it right. From the old southeastern region. That was why when I played the video of Effiong the other day, General Effiong was telling you that it is not only those who were speaking in that tongue that were murdered. Officers, every officer from the old southeastern region was murdered during that civil war. Every officer from the old southeastern region, whether you are Ijo, Efik, Ibibio, Anang, Ibanke, anywhere you come from, they lost them. And it is among these people that is 37 military officers. The person that is speaking is a military man. He fought on the side of Nigeria. And you see the way he's narrating this very issue. I want you to listen carefully. Let's follow him.
Using the word east. 37. The Yorubas had 10.
The Yoruban has 10. The Oduduwa people had 10 military officers. The Igbos, old southeastern region, had 37 officers. The Yorubas had 10 military officers.
Had 8.
Many of the Hausas had 8. The Hausa people had only 8 military officers. Remember, Nigeria is made up of 3 major sections: the Hausa, the Yorubas, and the Igbos. And he's trying to explain to you why he thinks we lost the civil war. That's what he's trying to explain. And he's telling you that we have 37 officers in the old southeastern region. And he addresses as Igbo officers. The Yorubas had 10, and the Hausas had 8.
Most of the Hausas were killed. So, I'm sure they will have sat down to say, how did we lose this war? What did we do wrong? Some will say, we have no weapon. Look, I have seen people who succeeded from failure.
Now he said, he's trying to tell you that the problem is not weapons. Now some people will say we have no weapon. But he is trying to explain to you that the problem actually was not weapon. To his own understanding, the person that is speaking is a Yoruba man. hold that to your heart. A Yoruba man speaking. He said, some people will complain of weapon, but the problem wasn't weapon to him. Let's listen.
I have not met one person that succeeded from excuses. I am tall, I am black, I am short.
He is trying to say that we making excuses for losing the war is baseless. That there is no excuse we can give. Talking about not having weapon and this and that, he doesn't agree with that. Now let us hear him out. What he thinks was the reason why we lost the war. I want you to pay attention to smear campaign of Nigeria, the British method and Nigerian zoological method, how they try to divide us and make sure that that division continues to rule.
To give you the food you're talking about, your enemy will. Who's to give you the food you're talking about?
I want you to get
your enemy
take it back.
From failure. I have not met one person that succeeded from excuses. I am tall, I am black, I am short. Who's to give you the food you're talking about? Your enemy will come and feed you. Somebody is daft.
Now he is talking about using starvation in the war. The starvation that Nigerian government used to starve Biafrans, that weakened our army, that made us, our children, millions of our children to die. That is not an excuse. And that should not be something we have to use an excuse that he made us lose the war. And he's asking, how do you expect your enemy to feed you in war? And of course, your enemy cannot feed you. Who is going to give you the food? These are his arguments.
If that was the thinking, they deserve to lose the war. But why Igbo in particular? Igbos did not lose the war. The East, that was Biafra, which included Ekwere, Anang, Ibibio, Efik, they lost the war. But why is it so that the Igbos are so concerned with it?
Did you hear him? He said that the Igbos did not lose the war. And he mentioned the old Southeastern region, as he said before, that they were the people that lost the war. That is not about the Igbos. And he's asking, why is it that those tribes that speak that Igbo language are much concerned than those that do not speak the language? Now he tried to differentiate. When it comes to Biafra, he said, we all lost the war in the old Southeastern region, which he knows are Igbos. But why is it that the people that speak the language are much concerned than others? And I want you to pay attention to listen to his own narrative.
Igbos did not lose the war. The East, that was Biafra, which included Ekwere, Anang, Ibibio, Efik, they lost the war. But why is it so that the Igbos are so concerned with it? So you see, there is another commander of the Navy called Pascal Odu. He wrote a book. He was talking about his boss from Agbo. He said, but the man is not a Biafran anyway. So, an Agbo man who is Ika Igbo speaking is not a Biafran. So you could see why they lost the war. Because they annihilated the Efiks, the Anaks, the Bibios, the Ekweres.
Now, do you see where this man is putting his campaign? Now he's saying that the Igbos, those who speak Igbo language, annihilated, took away, separated, and put away other tribes. This is a blatant lie and campaign of the enemy. This is what they appreciate. And when you hear, when somebody from the coastal region hear this kind of narrative, you see them getting agitated, getting angry, getting confused. Look at what this man is preaching here. After all this he has said, look at where he landed. He gave example of a man who is from, what is he called, that area? A monkey or whatever, who said he wasn't a Biafran. Probably, maybe he fought on the side of Nigeria, which is something that is bound to happen in war. Sometimes you see people on your area fighting with the enemy, fighting for the enemy against their own people. We have seen it on several occasions. Biafra case will not be, it's not different. There has been several occasions at war where people were fighting against their own persons, against their own. They were fighting on behalf of the enemies. But look at what this man is preaching. Now he took the blame and gave it to those who have that tongue and say that they annihilated. That is the word he used. I want you to hear it directly from him. Look at the word he used. Pay attention to the way he tried to push that narrative. These are the bunch of people that are still holding on to that very narrative of making sure that that division in Biafra land continue. When you see them, they start their statement. If you don't pay attention, you wouldn't know where they're going. You wouldn't know. But look at how he tried to paint it. And when somebody from the coastal region hears this narrative, you can imagine how the person is going to feel. I want you to pay attention again.
He was talking about his boss from Agbo. He said, but the man is not a Biafran anyway.
That somebody was telling him about his boss from Agbo. Maybe a military man who said his boss from Agbo is not a Biafran. Are you going to force somebody to be a Biafran? This is where they push it. And by the way, before the Biafra started, before the Biafra one started, before Ojukwu declared, Ojukwu went into discussion with all the traditional rulers in the area. In all Biafran region, in the whole of Southeast and South-South, they were in meeting for 4 days, according to history. They were in the meeting for 4 good days until they arrived at a conclusion and gave Ojukwu the mandate to go and make a declaration. That was why even the name Biafra was not given by an Igbo man. It was an Igbo man that gave, an Ijaw man that gave the name Biafra. During that very discussion, they had a meeting, consultation consultation for good 4 days. But you see, when they print the narrative, you would think that the Ojukwu just came and declared, the Igbos just came and they fought a war and dragged people into it. Look at, this is what they continue to preach and paint in all their narrative. And there are similar videos everywhere. He pretends to tell you why we lost the war. So why we lost with the war was because that the Igbo Biafrans annihilated every other tribe, and he was mentioning them one after the other, which is a blatant lie, a smear campaign from a Yoruba man. These are the Awo group that we are talking about. There are wonderful Yorubas. There are very wonderful Yorubas that have wisdom and that knows what to do. But people like this that have hate in them, we always use every little opportunity to play that card and push that smear campaign. I want you to pay attention. Pay close attention to what this man is doing here. Pay attention.
You see, there is another commander of the Navy called Pascal Odu. He wrote a book. He was talking about his boss from Agbo. He said, but the man is not a Biafran anyway. So, an Agbo man who is Ika Igbo speaking is not a Biafran. So you could see why they lost the war. Because they annihilated the Efiks, the Anaks, the Bibios, the Equeres. And once you alienated these people, they're looking for where to belong. So when Nigerians got there, they gave us all the support that we needed. So we had to move forward without having to look back. The natives supported us.
This is a blatant lie. And they push this kind of narrative outside. And people listen to this idiot and they believe it. It is so annoying that when you see some of these videos, people go to interview them and they use that opportunity to push this smear campaign. And when people in the coastal region of Biafra hear this, our own brothers, they will feel that we don't want them, that this is actually what happened. This is a blatant lie. This was not why the war was lost. When it comes to sabotage and people fighting on the side of the enemy in the case of war, it is not only, it happens in every circumstance and situation. It happens in every way. We know one of the people that supported that war, Adakaboro. You know what transpired. Why Adakabo decided to fight on the side of Nigeria? Everybody knows. He was one of those who was in the creek causing the problem, using Biafran uniform to take the life of their own people in order to blackmail the Biafran. Simply because he felt Ojukwu, while representing the Zoological Republic, imprisoned him. So he will never support anything that Ojukwu stands for. He doesn't care. And because Gowon saw that loophole and used him, these are individuals. There are many of them like that that were used to blackmail the Biafrans, and they went into their people to confuse them, blackmail, and people fell into it. And look at how this man interprets it. His own short language, and when you see him start the narrative, you think he's making sense. But where he's pushing at is to create that smear campaign, to distract, deceive, and confuse people. It is so sad, very, very sad, that we continue to have this kind of people circulating wrong information out there. This is why we must pay close attention. A generation which ignores history has no past and no future. We must learn to tell our stories. We must begin to tell our stories. It is because of this kind of rubbish that they use to distract, to confuse, and deceive people. And we must not allow it to continue to happen. It is sad. After reading this, I am going to read an article that was written for someone that is much more reasonable, that was written, I think, by a Biafran. I'm going to read that so that we can understand actually what transpired and not what this idiot is saying. Why we lost the civil war. I can see my brother Akonyo Wetere, you are here. Go on and make your opening speech before I go ahead and read the article I want to read. Are you there, Akonyo Wetere?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Take care the state they created after the civil war. We got there. Then he take care that interview with a Chinese woman, Desmond. Those two work the bomb called the idiot.
I can't hear you clearly. Akonyo Wetere, I can't hear you clearly.
Say that Monday car fall into. Take him with great, yeah. And also interview Peter Kalifu with Desmond Obino. He was there two of the one the bomb called the idiot.
It's so noisy. It's so noisy, dear my brother. I can't really hear you. I can't hear you. Akonyo Wetere. Maybe when you go in a better place, we can be able to hear what you're saying. So, my fellow Biafrans, this is some of the things we have to really look into, and this is why we have to pay attention to history, more especially our beloved brothers and sisters in the coastal region. So many people are being deceived, just like you see Wike today talking from both sides of his mouth, confused. You see the pig in the creek, confused, even when he knows who he is and where he's coming from. But they help to push this smear campaign, lies everywhere, and we must not allow it to fly. We must not. So, after hearing the narrative of that man, I want us to listen to this. I want us to go through this article that was written by Maazi K. Ani. Maazi K. Ani wrote this, and I'm going to read it out so that we can, because after reading this, I found it much more reasonable than what that man was talking there. Why we lost the war. So we are going to read this very article to help us to digest this very program and take it to the length that where we need to take it. The article is written by Maazi K. Ani. I read. As things stands, it seems that the first Biafran war was merely a notice served to effect that a state of that name will someday reappear in the world map unless the grievances that led to war in the first place are addressed. In that respect, Ojukwu has played his historical role of putting Biafra on that map of world history, complete with its own flag, national anthem, currency, postage stamp, etc. No liberation struggle on the scale of Biafra has ever been totally and permanently defeated. Nigeria may well become a world first in this regard if the underlying grievances are addressed. In May 2000, the anniversary of Biafra independence, the Biafran flag was hosted anew in Igbo land by a local group. Quite clearly, the Biafran saga is not over until it is over, unless the grievances that led to that war are satisfactorily addressed. Those dry bones may rise again. That is absolutely true. That is nothing that is going to stop that is nothing. There's nothing. And we know that they will not address the grievances. So when you are saying, oh, they will never address the grievances. And he went ahead to write. He said, there has been a proliferation of Biafra and Ojukwu related articles lately in Nigerian cyber media. This is both a reflection of critical role of one man, His Excellency General Chukwuemeka Ojukwu, in the historical turning point of Nigeria, as well as the Igbo proverb that after brave men have done the real fighting, the effeminate would remain at home by the ferry side and tell the tales. The cyberspace have become the ultimate fair side, a destination for cowardly tale telling by effeminate revisionists of all hue about a war that ended over 3 decades ago. One term that recall with regular in this fancy tale is the issue of Ojukwu leadership and the outcome of the Biafran War. However, all the articles written so far on the issue has missed the point by narrowly focusing on leadership. That is what they do all the time. When they want to narrate the failure and the success of Biafra, they will always talk about Ojukwu this, Ojukwu this, how the management was done, but they forgot some major important things. I agree with you. Therefore, they suffer from one debilitating weakness, one factor analysis, the term Ojukwu, taken out of its historical context from predictable source, because taking out context from predictable source has become as boring as it is unproductive in this easy essay. We unpack the real reason for Biafra loss of the war, the implication for the brand of total political posturing that failed to account for the change context of that defeat. Biafra lost mainly because the idea that is portrayed was too far advanced for its time. Now, this person is trying to explain to us why we lost the Biafran War. Mazi Ani. And I want you to pay attention to his explanation. You are going to get it and get it right. Not that thing that Afonja is talking. What the Afonja is saying has nothing to do with the reason of the war. Even though we know there are sabotage, it happens in every way. It happens in every way. So they continue to push their smear campaign and propaganda, which is a false message. Now, let us hear what Mazian has to say. He said, Biafra lost mainly because the idea that it portrayed was too far advanced for its time. At the time we are talking about Biafra, he is saying that that idea was far advanced for its time. The Biafran War broke out just over 6 years after Nigeria independence. 6 years after Nigeria independence, the war broke up. At that time, anti-colonial struggle were still going on elsewhere in Africa, putting Africa nationalists against colonials and non-colonial forces in countries such as Angola, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, etc. The issue thrown up by Biafra had not been properly understood at the time as they are now. These issues are. I hope you understand what this man is saying. That at the time that Biafra issue happened, it is not that it's not right, but it was too advanced for the time. People could not understand it because of the presence of the colonialists at that very time. And Nigeria just got out of their independence 6 years after. So it is difficult for people to digest the fact that Biafrans are going out after independence after 6 years, and other colonial sections in Africa. People were still under colonialism and whatever. And it was difficult for it to be understood at that time, 1967, 6 years after independence. This is the reason the guy is getting. And he said, there are reasons. These issues are the issues he pointed out that made us to lose that war. I want you to pay attention to these issues. The issues that Mazi and he pointed out that made us to lose that war. Listen to these very issues. Very, very important. Number one, he said, self-determination versus territorial integrity. Self-determination versus territorial integrity. And he went ahead to explain. The dominant debate in the war was the right of nation to self-determination versus the right of states to maintain their territorial integrity. At the time of Biafra, the principle of territorial integrity was upheld worldwide over self-determination. And because the Nigerian side represented the politically correct ideology at the time, it was able to mobilize a vast array of forces, incorporating both NATO, Warsaw Pact countries, and the Arab League, USSR, UK, OAU, USA, Egypt, etc., against Biafra, which was seen as a threat to Nigeria's territorial integrity. I hope you understand the explanation. As at that time, self-determination was not acceptable. What they care about is territorial integrity. And that territorial integrity was serving the purpose of the colonial master, because most countries are still under colonialism at that time. And there's no way they could be able to support Biafra, because self-determination is not on board, can never be supported. It's not even pronounced. Nobody knows about it. It was far, 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 far. Something they never dreamt about. He went ahead to explain. He said, at that time, Biafra was declared. Very few people, example, France. He said, at that time, Biafra was declared. Very few people, example, Francis Charles de Gaulle, Tanzania, Julius Nyerere, Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, etc., upheld the right of nation to self-determination over territorial integrity of states. Today, the picture is different. The scale has tipped in favor of national self-determination as seen in Eritrea, Yugoslavia, East Timor, USSR, etc. Indeed, during the Biafran period, the collapse of states, any state was viewed with utmost horror. Yakubu Gowon scored cheap points by raising the specter of tens of African republics invading the UN. No one imagined that the almighty USSR would disappear from the world map. Each of its 15 constituents Republic becoming full members of the UN, the high heaven did not fall. Today, the reality of collapse is taken for granted after the disintegration of USSR, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, separatist pressures in Canada, Spain, and Britain itself, etc. So, these are the reasons he gave that's made us to lose war. That when we were fighting for self-determination, then it was not something that is acceptable. It is not received in the world. It was new. It is something that is very, very new to the world. They can't understand it. What they believe in that time was territorial integrity, because the colonial master were very much around. Remember, it's just 6 years after independence. And he gave this as one of the reasons why we lost the war. And when you look at the explanation, you can understand that now and then it is not the same. And you will understand that in 2025, it is Biafra is a done deal. We are gone and we are gone. Self-determination today has been passed to law. International law supports it. African peoples and human rights law support it. Even Nigerian law signs up to self-determination. That is why when you see some people say, oh, Biafra will not come either. This is 2025. We are not in 1967. And he went ahead again to give the second point why we lost the war. He said, the viability of colonial boundaries in Africa. The viability of colonial boundary in Africa. And he went ahead to explain this viability of colonial boundary in Africa. He said, what Biafra challenged at that time was the viability of African boundaries as constructed by colonial powers at that time. The received wisdom was that African boundaries were inviolable and non-negotiable. Just like when they tell you that Nigeria is non-negotiable. This is where they got it from. They tell you Nigeria is inviolable, Nigeria is non-negotiable. That is it. At that time, the received wisdom was that African boundaries were inviolable and non-negotiable. The idea was that if these boundaries were successfully challenged, it would open a floodgate for more agitation and therefore chaos in Africa, elsewhere. As a result, the OAU incorporated in its charter the inviolability of African boundaries, a clause which it defends with great zeal. Are you seeing that? That the OAU incorporated in their charter the inviolability of African boundaries. So when you hear that Nigeria is indissoluble, this is it. As at that time, OAU incorporated its charter, the inviolability of African boundaries, a clause which it defends with great zeal, and defend it. With such kind of a clause, where would OAU support us? They will never support Biafra. They won't. They will fight it. They defend it with great zeal. They defend that clause with great zeal. They defend the boundaries put by colonial master. Boundaries put by colonial master. Boundaries put by colonial master. That is why we say OAU is an instrument of the West. They are not there to serve you. That is why I thank Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger that have just walked out of that useless OAU that has nothing to offer. That is just a stooge of the Westerners. You come to the other, he went further to explain. He said it was precisely this principle that Biafra attempted to challenge in the 1960s again. This idea was far ahead of its time. As at then, they can't imagine to hear that anybody want to tamper with the boundaries that was put by colonial master. They don't just want to hear it at all. They didn't want to hear it. Again, this idea was far ahead of its time. Today, after millions of Africans have died in wars related to these same boundaries, millions are maimed. and millions more rendered homeless. Serious people elsewhere have come to see the futility of maintaining these artificial boundaries. In fact, many more Africans have died fighting about African artificial boundaries than killed under direct European colonialism itself. When the British colonial police shot a dozen coal miners in Enugu, all hell broke loose. But the Biafran War alone claimed over 2 million lives. The same scenario is being played out in Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, etc. Therefore, a lot more people are today willing to accept that African boundaries are not and should not be inviolable. Ironically, Ethiopia itself, where the fate of Biafra was discussed several times, became the first to accept this compelling reality by not only letting Eritrea to go, but also incorporating the right to secession in its constitution. The OAU itself has lost much of its relevance and became a talking shop for tin pot dictators, no longer able or willing to assert the principle of inviolability and sacrosanct boundaries. This is a solid explanation of what you can say led to Biafra not succeeding in that civil war, and not that thing that idiot was talking about. He went again to mention the third point: international matters. International matters. The Biafran war strategy was based on the goodness of the international community and their ability to intervene in the resolution of conflict. Biafra believed that the international community would not stand by while acts of genocide were being committed. Again, this idea was far ahead of its time. Biafrans thought that the world cannot, there's no how the world be watching genocide happen and they will keep silent. This one is very clear. The Biafran government thought there's no time the world will watch genocide happen, but eventually, again, this idea was far ahead of its time. As at then, it happened, nobody cares. But not in 21st century, not in 2015, it can't happen. It was not until the 1990s in Rwanda, Somalia, Bosnia, Kosovo, and East Timor that international communities became involved in this way. At the tone of Biafra, the international community was there, all right, but there was not unity of purpose between the wishes of the masses and the government. Thus, while the masses and their organizations in Europe and North America, charities funded by mass donation supported Biafrans, their government supported the Nigerian side. You see, why the individuals were supporting Biafra, why individuals were raising funds supporting Biafra, their own government was busy supporting Nigeria against Biafra. While we are receiving aids from organizations, individuals, their government itself was supporting Biafra. What are the challenges we face? Nigerian argument that other states should not interfere with its internal affairs was more or less accepted by the international community, except the aid agencies. Today, the situation is different in that government can actually act according to the humanitarian impulses of the masses to prevent international disaster, or on the Biafran scale, territorial integrity or no territorial integrity, internal affairs or no internal affairs, as seen recently in Kosovo. Are you now seeing the difference between now and then? These were the reason we lost war. Just like he said in the beginning that it was too early. The idea was too early. Just why the colonial master was still very more around in Africa. And things were not the way it is today. The next point he pointed out is religion. religion, and he said Islam versus Christianity. This was another question thrown up by the Biafran struggle, which was poorly understood at the time. Although the conflict between Islam and Christianity is a very old one. At that time of the Biafran struggle, the main ideology battle was between communism and capitalism. So issue of religion wasn't there. The major thing the world was facing at that time was communism and capitalism. Biafra, however, presented the religious side of the conflict to the world. But again, on this issue too, Biafra was far ahead of its time. You see? We were in the future, where everything we are doing then was in the future. The world was not ready to pay attention. Whereas Biafra saw the conflict as a struggle between Islam and Christianity, the Nigerian side was able to use Yakubu Gowon, Anthony Enahoro, etc. as a front to mask the religious dimension of the war. Did you see that? How they used Yakubu Gowon. Yakubu Gowon, I think his father was a pastor and a Christian, and Anthony Enahoro fighting on the side of Nigeria. So there's no way you can throw up religious issue and say it's about religion. Nobody's going to pay attention. With the end of the Cold War and the emergence of Islamic fundamentalism worldwide, threatening the interests of the USA and the European states, the religious issue is viewed rather much differently today. The re-emergence of the Sharia, etc. in Nigeria, Al-Qaeda, Islamic International sponsored terrorism today shows a far clearer understanding of the question than was possible at the time of Biafra. There's another point he pointed out again. He said, the concept of Hausa Fulani hegemony, the role of local groups. Aside from international ideology currency in favor of maintaining territorial integrity of existing states at that time of Biafra, the other major reason for Biafra defeat was the role of local groups. Biafra interprets the conflict in North-South terms. Internal colonialism and the need to fight Hausa Fulani domination. This idea turned out to be far ahead of its time in that many local groups. In that, many local groups did not buy the idea of northern domination indeed. You see, at that time, when we were talking that the Fulanis want to take over and dominate, nobody paid attention. They didn't pay attention. But today, is it not what everyone is crying? Is it not what that thing? Is it not what everyone is crying today? Is it not what everyone is crying? But when it was pointed out then, other people, the indigenous people, didn't buy it because they didn't understand it. It was far ahead of time. Many Nigerian groups contested the notion of Hausa Fulani domination and considered Igbo domination as a more dangerous threat to themselves. You see, they bought into the Igbo domination, but they never agreed about the the Fulani domination. Instead, they paid attention and accepted that Igbos want to dominate, but the inside of Hausa domination, they didn't pay attention. But today, what is happening? Are they not in charge everywhere? Are they not the owners of Nigeria today? Can you say anything in Nigeria today without them giving the order to do anything? Can you have any president without them appointing them? Are they not the ones in charge of everything? But yet, even as at now, nobody's paying attention. But I think the awareness is better now than it was then. This explains the pattern of alliances that occurred during the war. In Western Nigeria, the idea of northern domination was bought only by a radical fringe made up of Wolose Inca. Only Wolose Inca and his likes understood this thing that is happening today. Then, when Biafra preached it, Tai Solerin, etc., and was of no mobilizing value. In the Midwest, the idea of northern domination was totally rejected by all non-Igbo groups. In the Midwest, that them they cry today, Midwest. I think they are the one crying today. But then they never believed it. In the Midwest, the idea of northern domination was totally rejected by all non-Igbo groups who considered Igbo domination to be far more dangerous. In eastern Nigeria, not only was Hausa Fulani domination rejected, but non-Igbo groups saw the Hausa Fulani as liberators from Igbo domination. Oh, you see? And this was what they planted. This was what Ahmadu Bello planted. The British planted this. And they bought into it. They saw it as liberation. Today, what is happening? Are you being liberated? They saw Fulanis as liberators then. As at 1967, they saw them as liberators. And today, they are still coming to liberate, and you are crying. You are crying. This writer finds this attitude intriguing, given that oil had not become as important in this area at this time. Ultimately, the answer is this: antipathy towards the Igbos must be found in pre-colonial history. Only in the 1990s, after 3 decades, did the idea of Hausa Fulani domination begin to be accepted. Even then, how much this is weighted against the bogies of Igbo domination among southern Nigeria groups remains unclear. I hope you are getting it. These are facts. What affected us during that civil war? The next thing that came up is the leadership issue. The leadership issue. Biafra lost the war also because we were outgunned and outmanned by the Nigerian side as a result of local and international climate which existed at the time of Biafra. The Nigerian side was able to put together a far more formidable array of forces that eventually gave them more military clunks and led to the fall of Biafra. Those international configurations of forces and ideology have now shifted. I read in Hausa chat in gomije.com recently proclaiming that the whole world would not sit by today and watch Nigeria murder 2 million Igbos as was the case in 1966 to 70. This is a fact. The local attitudinal climate also appears to have changed in such a way that will make it impossible to recreate the anti-Biafra alliance of the 1960s. The idea that Ojukwu personality was contributory to Biafra defeat is a myth created to scapegoat and demonize him. Exactly. And that is what that idiot was trying to do in that his speech. The idea that Ojukwu personality was contributory to Biafra's defeat is a myth created to scapegoat him and demonize him after the war. Sociologically, there are 3 sources of legitimate authority: traditional, legal, rational, and charismatic. Ojukwu was and still is a charismatic leader, precisely the sort of leadership you need to found a new state. Every other issue was his subordinate to that single aim, and that was precisely what happened in Biafra. So Ojukwu has done his bit. All the armchair theories and backstabbing internet revisionists are hereby reminded that modern states and nations are not founded by winging issues, cringing lens sitters, or crumb eaters who believe in nothing and will ultimately die for nothing. As things stands, it seems that the first Biafran war was merely a notice served. As things stand, it seems that the first Biafran war was merely a notice sought to the effect that a state of the name will someday reappear in the world map unless the grievances that led to war in the first place are addressed. It has already reemerged. The name has already, the redeclaration has been done and it's going nowhere. In that respect, Ojukwu has played his historical role of putting Biafra on that map of war history, complete with its own flag, national anthem, currency, postage stamp, etc. No liberation struggle on the scale of Biafra has ever been totally and permanently defeated. Nigeria may well become a world first in this regard of underlying grievances addressed. They can never address it. Where are they going to address it? In May 2000, the anniversary of Biafran independence, the Biafran flag was hosted anew in Igbo land by a local group. Quite clearly, the Biafran saga is not over, and until it is over, unless the grievances that led to that war are satisfactorily addressed, those dry bones may yet rise again. Triumphalism or revisionists postering about Igbos, Biafra, Ojukwu, etc. may be suited, but they cannot be themselves change. They cannot by themselves change the course of the world history. I took my time to read this and make sure I read it and read all of it for us to understand that sometimes when you see these people come out and begin to preach their lies, you must not pay attention to all those their blackmail and lies. We must not. Because when you hear this man speak, if you are from the coastal region, the person will just get angry and begin to think about this, Igbo dominates you, Igbo dominates you. And that domination is exactly what they want to preach. That is what they want you to know. That is what they want you to talk about. And that is why when I saw this video today, it caught my attention. I said, no, we can't continue to allow this to push this propagandas and blackmail and get away with it. They come and every time they paint us as the aggressors. Every time they paint us as the aggressors. The same people will tell you that these people, we are all Igbos. At the same time, they know we are all Igbos, and they will come and plant that seed of discord and make sure that that seed remains. And people continue to buy into it. But I think it's high time we change our line of thought and the way we view things. My brother Konyo, are you there?
My brother, the article.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The thing they were talking, I have like Kuku before now. You know that first man that he played in earlier. I said that to debunk him, that he will go to system of shake here, work at a do, but have partition, must take after the 1970s. So that he water the data and next section all the copia. Then on interview Peter Salifu from Benue or the Plateau State in Mere. Those are the two work. I like how many years you system pull lawyer now. Because this is the work for people to be debunking. This is how we should be telling our story. This information he played now, that first one. Upon all my escapade in looking for work, history, see what I'm by. That is. But look at it today. You have pulled the extract from where they see to tell our people our story, who we are, the reason why we are aspiring to become a nation of ourselves. So, we cannot somewhere, but let me say in 20 minutes time or 10, less than that, I will leave the place and not even get cook. But opening your system now type war state after the war. If the Nigerian government want to go to the partition and they are next. Did we annex anybody? Are they not the one that conquered the Iguacha? Are they not the one that massacred the Sabbath? So why are they telling that we are next? the Igbo speaking people not the one protecting themselves? Are we not the one that barricaded on the chat, that blew the bridge, that made Nigeria to lose? What are they saying? This is what I'm saying every day. For the media warriors that spend their time in gossiping to be doing this, there are people I know about this story. When they hear it, even outsiders, like people to support us, when they come across our work, how we are detailing our story, how we are detailing the fact that is pushing us to fight, they will tend to listen to us. But rather they devote their time in gossiping. Money, 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 gossiping. So my brother, just to look up for those things, to use it and debunk, so that when somebody can watch your video, they will see the whole thing, copy it and paste it, so that they will debunk themselves. We debunk them by themselves also.
You saw a
So
state created after the Civil War, and what again?
Yes, how they partition the Igbo. Check all the states. He talked about the car, he talked about the story, talked about all these people, how they partition us after the war, how they cut some people, put for Benue from Ebonyi State. Look for that one, put the extract there. Then on that issue of annexing, that we annexed them and they came to rescue us, look for Edmund Obilo exposition with Peter Salifu from that middle belt. If you can,
okay,
maybe
Edmund
another time, you put Obilo.
Yeah.
Interview with Peter Salifu from middle belt. Those two work now will counter all those junk. So when I talk, I will talk.
You saw with who? Interview with who? Peter who?
With Peter Salifu from
Okay.
middle belt. Edmund Obilo with Peter Salifu.
Okay, thank you, my brother. I'll check it out. Thank you so much. My beloved brother Max, thank you for joining. Go ahead and speak to us, my brother Max.
Thank you so much, Mazi Chicks. You look bright today, and I believe that the mercy and the grace of God is upon you, Namoch. Jisike.
Thank you.
Jisike. Ndị Igbo anyị si na mkwere hele elu osisi dapụ afọ na anọ. Ada onye sịrị ya na jisike ịgbalịrịla owelite isi ya kwụọ ya n'elu. Ma nwe onye si ya ime na ya were isi onwe ya si ya n'ome. I know. Jisike Nam, it is a great thing. I use this opportunity to salute every Biafra wherever you are. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader. Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister who has been isolated from us. Dr. Ngozi Oraveze, Prime Ministers. Everybody that is into this United States of Biafra, I say may Chukwu Abiyama continue to bless each and every one of you for the great job that you are doing. Our struggle, our strive, and toil will never be in vain. God will definitely give us the way to our freedom. And that will not come if we don't do the things that we're supposed to do as human beings. Once we do those things that we're supposed to do as we are trying today, God will come. And his own, when it comes, it will be like worse than tsunami. I would like to go to the topic that a generation which ignores history, they are also bound to make mistakes of the past. You see, Nigeria, right now as we speak, the Nigerian children are not, they are not taught history in the school. But during our own time, we were taught history. And most of the things that we are talking and making references to today are most of the things that we were taught while we were in school then. This particular generation that are there now have no knowledge about history unless what they read from the social media. They can believe anybody and their own, perspective of the history from their own people. If you were not opportuned to be taught that in school, you would definitely believe whatever anybody is telling you. And that is why we are here to debunk most of this. The lies about the Biafran people and the reasons what made Biafra? What prompted Biafra? What prompted Biafra? What was the beginning of the political restiveness in Nigeria that was now that brought in the Biafran people in it? Did we cause any problem? Why are they not putting these things in? Why are they refusing to teach them to their own people? Because they are running away from being blamed. They are running away. What did we do? What did be like today? When America strike, this guy, what's his name? The Iranian man, they will revolt, they will riot in the north. Igbos, Biafrans speaking Biafrans entirely will bear the brunt of it. When a cartoonist condemn their prophets, there is, protest, violent protest in the north. The Biafrans will bear the brunt. They have lied to teach the history. And our people, you see where it bothers me, is our own people, the Biafran children of these days. You see them on social media. Because they want to, paint a picture. The Nigerian system wants to paint a picture. It's just like, trying to erase your memory of what you have heard, what your parents have told you concerning the ordeals of your forefathers, those that came before you. They give you a different, give you a different version of what has happened in the past. That is why you see them today. Majority of them, if you go deep into this one Nigerianist, you see their position, and they are young boys and young girls. When you ask them, why do you support this? Some of them will tell you, population. Population. Some of them will tell you, oh, population, there is unity in size. The unity that is killing you. What is the population of Barbados? What is the population of Finland? Is Finland up to 7 million people?
There is unity in diversity. Unity in diversity, and one of them will tell you that there is enough money to make it. That whatever product you produce, you have enough people to buy. Like Dr. Tata Poki, there's school money in Nigeria. That is what is keeping them. Go and ask Obi Kubana now. He will tell you that there is unity in diversity. Because of the migration, it's now start and not okay. There's a United hotel here. Online and out about that hotel and champagne. So know what they are doing. Continue, my brother. Now
you see, unity in diversity. Which diversity? Which diversity? Is there a clear line of your diversity in Nigeria? Is it not the same diversity that is telling a Fulani header to carry, that is wielding AK-47 assault rifle to graze on my farm? Is that a diversity? That is the diversity they are talking about. The diversity that has ruled out meritocracy in the system and brought in mediocrity. Is that what you are talking about? A diversity that will give the southern people a pass mark of 60 and give the Northerners a pass mark of 10 or 20. Is that the diversity? You see, when you look at there is what is this? Is it Pato Tommy? Pato Tommy was giving a lecture some time ago, and he said that time he was a journalist. Is it Pato Tommy or Ben Bruce? I don't know. I think it's Pato Tommy. Ben Bruce is another one Nigerian is that doesn't even speak the truth. that one, it doesn't speak the truth at all. If you see what that man, if you see his utterances on this Natasha case, you know that man is an intellectual, but still an intellectual, unessentual. That's what I call that man. Ikechual. That's what I call them. Pato Tommy was delivering. Is it an address? Yes, somewhere. He told them, he said, I asked the Nigerian government why they removed the bite of Biafra from the map. Do you know the answer they say they gave? And they removed it because
it's Ben Bruce. It's Ben Bruce.
Ben Bruce.
In the House of Assembly, when he was in the House of Assembly, it's Ben Bruce. He asked the question.
Oh, okay. But
when he was in the House of Assembly, it was Ben Bruce. I saw the video.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You see, anyway, I withdraw, but that will not make me refrain from his utterances as regards to what is happening.
Of course, it doesn't mind when they say something good, we'll take it. When they say the bad one, we still punch them.
Exactly. You see, so we cannot be bought. We, Biafrans, we are people that cannot be bought. When you do the right thing, we'll commend you. When you do the right thing, we will criticize. I will criticize you. So it doesn't mean that I don't like you. Yes. You see, so he said that the answer they gave to him baffled him. The answer they gave to him baffled him. He said they told him that they believe that Biafra will rise again.
Yes.
Is that enough reason for you to remove what is in the ancient map? What has been recognized even before, some empires come to be. That bite of Biafra, according to history that I was told, it covers some part of, is it Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, and the rest of them. It brought them together. Plus this other side, our own side. If it was not something real and reasonable or something that we can ponder on, why did they erase it from the map and drew a different one? That is, and there is no student today in Nigeria that will now go to that map and see the bite of Biafra there anymore because it has been erased. And a new version of the Nigerian map is what is there. These are the evil that they do. After the war, this is the history. The reason why they cut us off, Mazen Namda kind of call it, is it gerrymandering, right? I don't know if I learned a lot. I learned so many words from Mazen Namda Kano. He said gerrymandering is to whittle your power. The power you wielded during the war was so great. Britain advised these people in order to make them weaker, create states, carve, communities, bring them, reduce them to the lowest, decimal, minima. Is it minima? That reduce them to the lowest minimum, so that their power that they showcased during that 3-year gruesome war will be whittled. And immediately they create those states. What happened? Uguacha now is fighting, I am Rivers. I am Rivers. I am not old Eastern region. I am Rivers man. Equerry man like Wike will come out and tell you, I'm a riversman. If that one doesn't suit him very well, he will tell you, say, I originated from. And the Benin people tell you, say, no, you are not. Even I heard a statement or pronouncement from the Oba of Benin telling the Ikwere people that they are not from Benin. I think I shared it somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I shared it somewhere. They are not. They deny you, and when it doesn't favor you, you claim Igbo. Just like the Amechis. Before Amechi attack whoself, you cannot tell me that I am not Igbo. Before that time, were you claiming to be Igbo? Before that time, were you not an Ikwere man? You are Ikwere, you are Ikwere. You have nothing. Some of them will say they have nothing. But I love the people that are coming out now. One of the elders of Ikwere land that I would not forever forget. I will continue to bless him. I've forgotten his name. I don't know his name. It's an elder that is coming to tell them, Benin, stay where you are. We are not from you. It's an elder. I don't know his name. You see, this is how these people change this. They've altered everything about the Biafran people with a singular purpose to reduce the strength of unity that existed in Biafra land. That is exactly what it is. By the time, you see, if not that blood is thicker than water, and a boy man will tell you, say, oh, he will be concentrating on a boy state. What happens in Abia State will not matter to him. The same thing, because the states have been created, and immediately, why did they do that? They do it for easy penetration. If you are together, they will not. It will be difficult for them to penetrate you. But when they split you into pieces, it's easy to, to be penetrated. How did it? Look at Imo State. They have penetrated Imo State. Look at Mba the idiot. Mba the idiot that people are senselessly by in Europe. They came out to protest. The only thing you do is to go and blame your own people for defending themselves or for crying out. That is what they do. That's singular. Whatever they do, whichever way you see it, they reduce you into pieces in order to remove that spirit of unity that you displaced during the war. You displayed during the war. So this history must be taught to our children, especially Biafran children, in Biafra land. And we must preach it around the world that people who have been digesting the fabrications and the distortions of the Nigerian history will learn and understand that Nigeria is indeed a mere fabrication of itself, a lying nation that has never spoken the truth in their lives. So we will continue to do what we know how to do best. It is a difficult thing, but we have no option, Mazuchus. Each and every one of you in the comment section that is listening to this, or those that are going to hear this recordings, this broadcast later or in the future, I am telling you as Yokene that we have no option apart from to make sure that the world recognizes Biafra, so that we will rewrite and put in place all those distorted histories by the evil colony called Nigeria, as controlled and presided over indirectly by the British. Thank you, Mazuchus.
Thank you so much, my brother Max. I appreciate you for that amazing contribution. Let us hear from our beloved sister, Divine Precious. Good to have you. Go ahead and speak to us, my sister, Divine.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Mazuchus. Good afternoon from here. Maz, greetings to ndị odogwu anyị ji egbe ọnụ ịma na ike dị n'ọgha n'ọgha. So na-ekene, adị m very grateful to God mmelu na unu nwajisiri ike. In fact, ịnọ all round, sometimes ịnọ ma na nke ndị Nigeria ma na nke ndị Yoruba, ma nke ndị Hausa, onweghị nke ị na-anọ anụ ha ncha dị oke. And ọ na-eme anyị anya na-enwe a kind of encouragement to move on. So amadị m ajọsịrị ka m bata tinye ọnụ n'okwu because na abatọrọ m n'oge, amarọ m bete the topic ekwucheghị ihe niile. Onweghị mgbe ọ ga-enwe ihe a na-ekwu, ọ bụgodo na ịnụrọ nke ekwuru, ọ ga-enwe nke ịma ị ga-ekwu. Ọnya bụ one thing done at this our movement because ọ dịgo too big. The level of history adịgo too wide that even if you don't know anything from the old, the research is enough to say something. So meanwhile, according to the topic na-ekwu maka any nation na-enweghị history. In fact, both their past and future enwero in fact enwero ebe ha kwụ akwụ, which anyị nwa fall in one. I am victim of that kind of thing. But as God may have it, o promise anyị na time na-abịa mgbe ya ga-emere anyị ebere. And the time I believe is now. Because amụma niile bụ ịna-anya from the beginning, even from a scripture themselves. Ị na-afụ na ihe na-eme kịta is pointing at that time Chineke kwere na nkwa na ọ ga-emere anyị ihe very difficult. Our leader kpọrọ ya the last miracle. And even in fact, inekwe ya anyị fụ na eziokwu na ihe ọ na-achị ịwara ntị. Check ihe na-eme. In fact, the whole world. Tell me that country that is okay, that doesn't have one or two things to complain about. Before, they might not have things to to say that that is bothering them much, but now a lot of it is happening everywhere. And I thank God that what is happening now is building us for our future. Even in fact, most of the time, I am like when our children will start to go in history, to study history, is we that is participating in this that will give them the right thing. Because I think it's as we have different people with their different mentalities, those who doesn't understand how government or something plays, they'll still tell come like that in our country. I believe so. But just for the sake of the aga asakwishi letter, which maybe you're waking people from another country, not our own, but because I believe that the government will be doing this. Yes, now from outside. Well, lies. We believe it, and so even if it will come, it will not be from our own nation. Because our nation will teach you only but the truth. If the lies will come, it might be from our other countries who doesn't want our history to be known. Which our people, you will not leave your own original. Fake. Because we have seen it all. So Nihem na encourage Biafrans is that just as my brother Masuku, all did easy, but it is working. And don't we want thing in my mind. And say, oh, they are meant to to this. I am like, sometimes when you feel that, hey, is this achievable? Or don't know how can I give up? Or anytime you take way to give up, just have in mind that you are like a kind of person, because it is not over, is that it's not over. Once to cheat this thing, I can wear green light. Or never give up. Because if you go to Ghana and if you not already go by your own power, it's not by your own might. Upon him, just as Nkuna, we might not know how it is affecting a lot of people positively. Or someday, even if only before. some people pụtara nke ikpeazụ anọ na-agwa gị na ha just bụrụ na ntị ka ha na-ege before mana kịta the spirit prompted them to come out and say, and they are doing marvelously well. A lot of people pụtara n'ihe anọnwa. In fact, ọ dịzị ka ha ka ndị nọ before ndị bidoro ihe anọ from the beginning ha emekalize. But ihe a na-achịkọwara gị ihe anọnwa bụ once we don't say that we cannot do again, it will continue to move unless no ways can season on the because any majority in this our movement is not about majority. It's about those that God have chosen to do this that will take us to the final destination, and that is what is happening. Okuta ndị na-ewu n'ọjụ emeche onye ọbụla ga-eti mkpu sị hey ọ ihe a ka anyị mere one but everybody will not join and we will team hands together to move ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. I appreciate you for that wonderful contribution. And every one of us have to know that we would not allow people to tell our story. They have told a lot of lies against us, so many propagandas against us. They have pushed it from all angles, all corners. We must not allow it to continue. We must learn to tell our story by ourselves. Gone are the days when we say that the media is in the hand of the intellectuals, in the hand of our neighbors. We can't. It's not in the hand of anybody now. Thank God for social media. All we have to do is to utilize social media effectively to our favor. And I thank God that many people are coming in. We have to challenge that status quo. Those lies, challenge it. Initially, they just push those lies and propaganda and we keep quiet and watch them. Oh, we don't care about it. We just go to our business, go to our shop and do our business. Not longer like that. That is why sometimes when I go to TikTok, I see fire on TikTok. Sometimes I get discouraged with one of them. But when I look at it at the other point, I say, no, it is high time we begin to respond to every single accusation, respond to it. Because the more we continue to keep quiet, generations and generations are coming and they are buying into those ideas they are presenting and people will think it is truth. But the kind of response Biafrans are making today, online and offline, whether you are supporting Biafra or not supporting Biafra, once you see those attacks against your people, you must respond to it. It is no longer, we don't have to allow people to continue to tell our stories every time they tell our stories. So many lies, there are so many lies that have been told against us because we are not responding, and that is why people, you see, they born children and they come to believe that lies. There are some people today in that Nigeria, they have never done anything with any Biafran. They have not done any business with any Igbo Biafran. They have never even traveled to Igbo land. They have never, some of them have not even come in contact with an Igbo person. But once they see you as a threat. Once you say a word, they will never believe you. When you come to a public, you have to explain to people. Just imagine that in everything you do in Nigeria as a Biafran, as an Igbo Biafran, you must explain. You will explain why you are coming back from abroad. You explain why you are traveling abroad. In the checkpoints, everywhere you go, you must explain. You go to a shop to buy something, you must explain why you want to buy that thing you want to buy. So long you are an Igbo person, more especially. Why do you have to continue on that? Because we're not responding. Go ahead, my brother Max.
You see, in addition to what you have just said, Mazi, do you know that when I returned to Ghana here, the first point was in a place where my uncle was. And the second place was my father's hometown, Binaba village. Do you know that far away Binaba village, in Upper East Regional, which is like about 800 kilometers from Tema. Let me just say yes, about 400 kilometers to Kumasi, Kumasi to Bolga, about 700 kilometers to 800 kilometers. When I was introduced, The first thing one young man told me, hey, you are from the Igbo side, eh? I say, yes, I'm from the Igbo side. That's where my mother comes from. Oh, we heard that they eat human beings. I swear to God Almighty. Hey, I hear that. I say, shut up. I didn't even allow him to explain. I said, shut up. I said, shut up. Have you been to Igbo land before? I am just coming from that. That's where my mother comes from. I spent 32 years in that place. I've never witnessed, oh, they eat a human being or not. Who told you all this nonsense? The people that are here, some of them, you know, when you hear anago, they attribute, you will feel that the people they know as Nigeria here are the Yorubas. That is why they call them the anagos. Even if you from the Biafra land enter into Ghana today, they will consider you as an Anago man or an Anago woman. It is you that will tell them, oh, knowing what is Anago, then you will say, no, I'm not Anago. You understand? This is the information that they have passed to these people. And these are people that have never had any association with you. People that has never gone there. Imagine right there in Nigeria, in Arise Television. Dr. Abati came out and said, someone say, them say, but you did not witness it. And you didn't care to investigate.
A journalist, oh, a journalist.
A journalist, oh, a lawyer by profession. A lawyer or by profession.
You are in a national TV where the whole world is watching, and you are accusing.
Just imagine the gravity of that. The international media carries it. Oh, the Igbo people, you cannot get a land over there. Even to their in-laws, they cannot get a land. He never. You see how that one, immediately our people came out. The land that was even given to him was not sold. It was dashed to him. It was dashed to him. Why couldn't you go and verify? What is the difficulty? And when a fellow journalist was trying to make him understand that arrogance nature, the arrogance posture and pride overwhelmed him. Another word I hear from Mazen Namdekano, overwhelmed him. He started showing his pomposity towards the lady journalist, trying to tell him to prove to the lady journalist that I was here before you and you cannot teach me anything. But you are vacuous in your brain. You are so empty. You are so empty. On the line of that mistake that you are making, someone wants to at least respectfully guide you. Arrogantly, showed. You see, by their fruit you shall know them. So these are some of the things in line with what you are saying. These are some of the things that, and it is our responsibility, just like I did to that my brother in Upper East region. That is that is your responsibility. If you refuse to tell your story, the likes of Abati and that man from my own village will tell your story for you and write it for you. Thank you so much. That's what I want to add.
Thank you so much, my brother Max. Let's hear you. I guess you are free now.
Yeah, so Uncle Chus, thank you so much. I can't stop thanking you because you are doing wonderfully great. I have 3 things to say. 2 is on the analysis. It's my analysis on the 2 video you played for us today and the article you read for us. And 1 is my reaction to one the people from the other side. On that video, What I will say is short. I have become an advocate for our medias, both the one on the right group and the one on the left group, to make it a mandate for them to tell our stories. And we are the one telling our story. We're the one telling our story to the people of my own generation. You know, after the war, we have been pushed to the mud. That's why I said yesterday, I do not blame anybody. Because you have to make it a hobby. Even we that do wait every morning for you to put up your notification, put up a program for us to join you and talk, it has become our hobby. If there should be a time that maybe in 2 days you will not appear, I don't think that you feel comfortable. Anybody there can attest to it. Even you too, if anything, we try to deprive you of coming online to broadcast. I think that when this time that you do start comes, that you, wherever you are, you'll be uncomfortable.
Definitely.
That is how our story supposed to be. People are being pushed into buying and selling early in the morning. The ones that are living in Lagos, you come back, you face traffic like day before yesterday. Some people stayed in traffic up to 4 a.m. in the morning, and they will resume work again by 6 a.m. or 7. People that are in Lagos, they sleep, they catch. I'm not talking of the big ones. It's not up to 3 hours. When I was in Lagos, go, we sleep back. You set alarm. You must set alarm and put it close to your head, so that you wake up, bath, and be able to beat some traffic before you get to your working place. What time do you want that person to have to read books? The sons of the politician, they are very careful in sending them abroad. The curriculum there is different from what they are teaching us in Nigeria. The history that the universal history that they will be taught is all about their country, about their heroes. That is why you see them, you see their children. They've Britain manipulated and affirmed the script that Nigeria will be playing. But if all the medias of people that call themselves, we are looking for Biafra, will be doing what you are doing, I don't want anybody not to curse me. I don't want anybody not to say that I am promoting you or say that I am foolish. If you are doing it, you have your own followers, even though they are less in number, because they can't comprehend your reasoning. Anthony is not around. They like where people are gossiping. If you go to any gossiping media, you will see, like, when the person is live, you will see 600 people that are watching. But where they are reasoning like this, you will not see people. But in all, you still have followers. It is hardly for them to cut your video, because your video is not even indicting. They don't know how to flip your video. If they decide to cut your video, they will make mess of themselves. Now, if to say every media is doing this that we are doing, retelling our story, rewriting history, at least video now is easy for someone to scroll, watch. Our people that are hell-bent in looking for money, we come across this exposition, they will say, it will push the person to rethink about who he is. So that is it. Coming to the article that was written by our brother, it's true. I've been saying it. I said it in your program that what we are doing, like the people that are shooting video, taking pictures in the Washington DC, is just beating around the bush, building castle in the air. Because Donald Trump will not just come and take action about us. and you still have multitude of those people that hate our people. They don't hate our people not because they wish to hate us. They've built their country on our sweat, on us. They have to maintain their country. That is the ideas, that is the belief of the West. We have to undo them by coming together. And how will our coming together materialize? Well, everybody, every one of us knows what you know. If I know what you know, I will be able to work with you. If I know what you know concerning Biafra, I will find it very easy to work with you. But if I don't know what you know concerning Biafra, I'll be terming what you know as something that is working against Biafra. That is the conflict that we are having among us is because many people are shallow in the knowledge of what Biafra really means. The young man rightly pointed that the Igbos did not lose the war. But with what we are doing today, with what many people are doing today, we are showing that we lost the war. But with what you are doing today, you are proving to that idiot man that we did not lose the war. So that is what I preach every day. And you are doing it. And I will keep coming. Even if you want me to borrow, I will borrow and come. I'll say that if not because I'm in Nigeria, because I'm case it too good. And only the robot like as no change the answer. If I should set up a media to talk, they will look for me. What I contribute here is a home trace. On one week, they won't be able. But if I should set up a media, I won't be like Biafra Unite. With the facts, they will look for me. And not that I am a coward, but you start a fight that you will win.
Exactly.
The ground is not there, it's not conducive for people like me. So I have to be alive to be contributing quarterly here. But let's say that I succeed to be in the Western world, that I know that nobody will just wake up and send any talk to come and mold me or kill me. I will be doing exactly what you are doing. So that is it, my brother. Keep to your work. What we are doing here every morning, we are not doing it for immediate gain. It is never for our immediate gain. These are works that will pay off in many, many years to come. One of my Ghanaian friends, my engineer, na my factory, Isaac Achapong Bafia. Do you know what he told me? Money discussing here, Biafra. He would tell me that we are not serious. There's one story he told me about Kwame Nkrumah. He said there's one museum na Ghana, na Accra, that n'ebanye ebe ahụ, n'ihe ga-epule ịnọ ebe a 2 hours, n'ihe ga na-epule ebe ahụ bụ all the quote of Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana's TV screen ebe you will be reading his quote. That when people go there, they see his art, his intelligent work. No ya litara ebe ahụ. Kedu ihe butere ya? Money ala eje mkpọ ije gote something ngeji mezie machine. I have gafe buromi, gafe that what is it called? Nnamdi Azikiwe Museum. Or sim that Igbos are full. Na sim leba na ahịa Turungalile. Na ịga ebe nke Kwame Nkrumah na Ghana. Na all the fresh as every day. Na every government batara no renovate ya. There are small children no not about Kwame Nkrumah. Look at our leaders. Even though now the man be idiot, but he was hunch bent in one Nigerianist. People like Peter B. So who do them that are one. Why are they not doing that? To pay if you have misplacement of priority, or you be by shallow knowledge of history of themselves. You be by. So but all I know, as you are doing this, time will tell. But I wish for Igbos, I wish for my brothers and sisters. Now, how get the emotion by the side? Seek here for knowledge. Try to know for themselves, not for people to tell them. Okay, man. Because when we know what Britain know, we now graduate from knowing what they know to ask what is the best way I get undo in Hamerani. The ideology of Pierre Lumumba, Professor Lumumba, Joshua Maponga, all those Pan-Africanists now, is that in Africa, one had changed so that before Europe one, they partitioned themselves along their tribal line.
Exactly.
Before her fusel division that we need to come as a block so that we will be able to defeat our enemy.
That's my problem.
Now there's conflict in ideology.
That's my problem.
Fulani that has no land wants to have a land,
African
have
unity,
a country
African
of their
why
own.
you have not solved the main problem.
Yoruba man, Lafitoni will not already dominate ya. That domineering spirit, a preacher unto him, a media, he does not see any good about Igbo man again. Rather than Nyanyi Igbo chance to dominate here. But open a booty, African in a booty now, restructure their landmark. Yoruba now, half of Ikpokia na Yoruba, na Yoruba side, half on a Benin Republic. They can say, okay, let all the Ikpokia people that are in Benin Republic that are speaking Yoruba, let us be one country. When they actualize that, they will now push for, okay, are we going to liaise with Benin or Biafra or liaise with the Benin Republic and form a concrete army? That is how Europe is developing. But they've seen all those things. They say, no, let us keep them in confusion. Like a popular saying that if you pack crab and put inside bucket, instead of them to build upon themselves to go, all of them will be looking for a way to go out. All of them will be climbing and falling. But ants can build bridge. That's why the Bible says go and learn from them. If they want to cross, they will connect themselves, form a chain to cross. Igbos don't want to form a chain. And when they go to Igbos, when you interpret that statement, only many meaning. What they are doing to our people, we are not fidelistic in nature. Every woman want to be on his own. But on that also, they can wait until that person is before her, they will shoot up another person. That's what they are telling our people. And that is how that monarchical nature of them. That is what you see in Britain. That is what you see in outside. That made the British people to carry power and give to them. Because it has been their system. Now, when our people like Ato, it boldly told you that IBB made me what I am. They would tell them that, you know, your people, let's keep money on you. When we heap money on you and power on you, you will be able to control them. Then the person, before I run airport, Anambra, only Jiba plane Lasaba. You only use 24 cars, 12 G-Guard white, and 12 kilos. I kill areas on a Nowhere road. That thing, Allah, Toya, which is not our nature. Which is not the nature of Igbo man. Igbo man abo a capitalist. Many people have the strength in their reasoning. Boy, you wanna live, I could go na libo. You raise a Yahoo to approve kidnapping. Mumale now. Because of natural in Nigeria, I could not go. I have to start afresh. Ndi muna have ndo obomu niile muna have the region ndi lada shego. La zuta moto. Obo na menwe ho obi mmadu na enwe etinye go maka lo ofu ihe. Ka nweta ego. La ruro lego pala la village. No no buho na ahụ ka ọ dị. Igbo adịrị ala ere. No itozu okorobịa awanye gị ala. But ebe ka kala akụ ala Igbo now. Estate management lewu. So my brother and sister, we have to be telling our story. That's what I'm saying. Some people will come and say that we have preached enough. There's nothing like there's no preaching that is enough.
Maazị even sef ihe gbasara ala ahụ ị na-ekwu sef ndị ụmụnne gị sef nwere ike gbakọta ọnụ sef gbuo gị sef because of ana.
That is it now. US olere alere. Onwere all this Western world alere ala. Ala ọ bụ under government ka ọ dị l'aka. But apụta as we want to bring this. My brothers and sisters, it will help us when we begin to. I need not to preach to you because you are doing it already. You are doing it already. Do you have their time? You do not have their time. That's why I'm telling you that you see this work you do every morning. Don't worry. Even if you are doubting whether it will pay off tomorrow, just turn around. Look at the works of Nnamdi Kanu. When he was saying all these things, people called him miscreant. Some people believe the Niho Krugabela means, but all Abela means today. Whatever me and you alter, open our mouth on this your platform that is true, that is factual. My brothers and sisters, it must play out. That's my own confidence. So on my third reaction, you know, I want our people to know something. I've unsubscribed on all this, our left people, because they themselves, they say they are right people. We say we are right people. So the opposite of right is left. Our left followers of Simon Ekpa. You guys say that you have the contact, you have grip on men on the ground. When you tell France, I say Simon say large no get so the crap would know ya Kedi all I because I bump on one of his video. Ebola I using gozi la le mucha so mo ajan ya la Anambra.
Oh God.
Ejem ha nwere ATM ko APM. Kedi mbe na ha follow back. Obukwara ngozi ka ha na ayo.
They have amplifier. They have amplifier nkere.
So my brothers and sisters, ala ma yunu bikonu. Unu wetu okwu ala gee ya mma ịkọwara m ihe ọ pụtara, which means ihe ọ pụtara bụ na of a truth no ngozinu unu nwa ka m ndị nke bụ ndị nke nwa na-akpọ men on the ground. You know they like to build one person. And I'm not saying it to denigrate Igwe Butuzo, but that man, whether he's a young man or an elderly man,
our people are fond of that, building
that's
a strong
young man or elderly man. Ọ na ọ mara ihe ma o nwere ndị na-ege olu ya ga-ekwentị to what the spirit is telling the church. It is high time na o nwere ike ime somebody appoint ka o nyere ya aka may defend the usage of his name. The person should come out publicly where go na esom ATM on esom ngozi, because ọ gbara nkịtị kwekwere ekwe and agha anụ ọla just le brief ọ ga-erikwa isi ya. Ọ bụkwa onye nke apụta ọ sị na kọmanda Igwe Butuzo ekwuola, onye nke apụta ọgba nkịtị ọkwa ala ili ya ka ọ na-egwu. And on second note, ndị na-atụ ego na-ekwoku nwere onwe makwara ahụrụ ọ bụghị ofu onye na-eje agha, ofu onye adịkwa azụ ọchịagha. Ọkwa obute ụzọ nwere ndị nna ya na-azụ emeri ha agha asịla ụbọchị agha. Onye nke apụta triple general of all general. Agha ha na-akpọku osu today. Igwe Butuzo pụta ụnyaahụ David siri gbupụ Goliath isi ka Nigeria ga-egbupụ isi. N'Ojukwu bentana dida today le abụrụ dim ihe niile kwala ụmụ mmadụ kwala azụ, because among the 3 million nwụrụ, he did not die. And I did not the stories I've read, he only led from one front. He was not everywhere. And it will be foolishness of anybody get believe that when the so-called Igwe Butuzo name is called, that everywhere gama jibiji. Igwe Butuzo omara ben namu, omara ben namu. Ngozi raised the emotion. Let us decentralize army. ngwanụ n'ọla kpọtụlega mifu kedu ihe igwe bute ụzọ nwa ka nọ n'ọlụ eche jee ntụlụ nọ n'ọka igwe kedu ihe ọ ka na ebe ahụ eche ebe ha chọrọ ka power ka consolidate ya power on them let everything come from them ha makwara ahụla ka ị na-ebu butekwa wet ị ga-ebunwu and ya ma ọkwa asị ngozi ọ chọrọ ịkpa igwe bute ụzọ ọkwa ọ dị isoro obi eji afọ ihe eme ọ bụkwa nnaka ha ka Biafra la n'ọkụ n'obi o and ọ bụkwa ha niile like that. I say that I will not talk on media. Media is even powerful than men on the ground because Nnamdi agbahokpam ole media ka eji jide ya till today. Simon agbahokpam ole media ka ọ nọ. But because of their foolishness and cowardice, they carry the weight of the power of media. Meya as ebe a na-akụ asịrị na ebe a na-ekwu weta ego.
Very sad.
There are people that are fearless more than igwe bute ụzọ. Ka nkwukwu ọzọ la program gị. Le nwela ike kwala ọka ka Fulani na-ezuzu kwa ebe ndị hapụrụ their land porous. Nke m nwa na-ekwu bụ na ona mụ na gị na-ekwu na mmecha program a drọpụọ ya. One assurance nyere gị drọpụọ ya now. News ebuola Fulani garala my village in Ebonyi State. I'm not talking of Igbo ụmụnne m or anybody. Mụnwa bụ akonye wetere siri gị Uncle Choose na m ga-akpọ gị eji m your contact na m na-ala Ebonyi ọ bụghị ogwo adị m agbawa ogwo. Why am I saying it? I know my people. Na enwela akpụ ike bụrụ ọka ọ cross ebe ọzọ ọ wara anụ bushmeat la Fulani la akpụ ike kwa ebe ndị la-akpụ asịrị nọ. We are not waiting for government of Biafra because my people bụ farmers ka ha wụ. Fulani taa my mother esi m Lagos anọ laba today ọ bụrụ on the quest of ịbọrọ ụgwọ ka m lara I will die peacefully. Adịkọ m agbawa owuwo ihe m na-ekwu bụ ihe anyị ga-emodere anyị na mma ọ bụrụ ka na osu echi na m ga-agbakpu n'okpuru sketi nwunye m ọ gbakpu n'okpuru cupboard lekpi anya no osu echi you will see me. But while we are waiting for that, let us comport ourselves, do the right thing, not to be making jest of ourselves. If all the medias we do what we are doing, the message will go far. People wish to listen to us, but when you come across Ada, you will only see a barking dog without vision. You come across Vam, you only see a barking dog, an empty drum, making whoa, having louder voice without any message. A story, a fairy story being told by a fool. That is what you will see. If all of them are doing what you are doing, if all the media personnel are doing what you are doing, it will be reaching everywhere. But they rather devote their time to be talking trash in the media. And for them, they should not be poke-nosing in our government. They call us fools, charlatans. We accepted it in good faith. And we have made it known to them that we are not pressurizing Dr. Ngozi. All the pressure they are bringing on, let them channel it to Oge. I thought Oge Nkere said that he's the one that been footing the bill of BRG. Now that you are the acting PM, has your money finished? Or you don't want to put money again, which means you do not trust the acting PM that you are. When you were financial minister, you were funding. Now you are acting PM and financial minister. What is holding you back? You said you were the one that were doing everything. Why are you keeping money now? Why are you letting the men on the ground that you have their greed for them to lose? Why are you letting them down? In all a big lot to akala bonyozo. How already I need to channel out to the APM. They should stop calling Ngozi. I've told them that if you want to create your channel, pull every picture concerning Woto, put it there. I will follow you. I'll be the #1 person to subscribe. Don't pressure anybody to do what the person don't want to do.
Thank you.
Whatever you want to do to get this Biafra, do it. And stop being selfish and foolish.
Thank you, my brother Akonye. You've spoken well, and you've just made a point which is something that we are all confused about. You claim to be in charge of men on the ground. You claim to be the sponsor of the agitation. Why are you now calling on somebody you say is irrelevant to do something for you? Why is that when you have your problem, you begin to call the same person you say is irrelevant? It baffles me. And I don't know why Biafrans are not seeing this things the way we see it. I don't know why Biafrans are not seeing it the way we see it. But I believe by the special grace of Chukwu, the stage is set. That's why I say anybody that says he doesn't know his or her left or right, he don't know what is right to do, you don't know where to follow, I am sorry, I can't help you. I can't help you. Just take a thick blanket, cover yourself. When we get to Biafra, we will wake you up, then you will join us. When you join us, you will now find out where you are and what you're supposed to do. Don't go and attack anybody. Just like our Deputy Prime Minister have always said, that we have freedom of association. The Deputy Prime Minister have even given them that open blanket. Anybody you feel that this person is the person that is going to lead you to your promised land, go ahead. Go ahead. Nobody is stopping you. But at the end of the day, our choso, go a mile. Our target is the rising sun, and that is our focus. Nothing is going to distract us. As you can see, the government is busy. Biafra government is busy doing work, pursuing a recognition and restoration fully on the ground. Why the noisemakers keep themselves distracting themselves? And the beautiful thing about it, the joy of it all, is that the Deputy Prime Minister is not distracted. As I'm speaking to you, discussions are going on, things are being done. You can see our inauguration. We are still preparing for inauguration. Meanwhile, if you have not gotten your ticket, pick your ticket for the inauguration in Washington, D.C. for our headquarters, the Peace Summit. Make sure you are in that Peace Summit. Make sure you are in that Peace Summit. Go through the Deputy Prime Minister platform or the government platform. You're going to see the link on how to apply for the ticket. Apply for your ticket, you get a ticket. You know, in the United States, we have millions of Biafrans. If you don't apply on time, you might not be able to get the seat. If you don't apply on time, you might not find a ticket. So we have millions of Biafrans in the United States. If you're in the United States or you are anywhere you want to be part of that very inauguration, please apply for your ticket while we still have time. You're welcome, my beloved sister Ojugo. Let's hear from you, Sister Ojugo. Go ahead and speak to us.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Chicks, and all my brothers that are there with you. I've been on the background listening, especially when that Afonja, as they call them, was reading those rubbish, you know, dividing us and this. Say, and he said, the worst thing he said, Eka Igbo, the data man that from Eka Igbo. Which one is Eka? Which one is Igbo? And he said it's still not Biafra. I was like, it's been a long time that we're inside this mess, you know. But the only thing that don't have solution in this world is death.
Yes.
And with the media and the way things are going, trust me, our people know the right thing. Our people know the truth.
Definitely.
Some are scared to embrace the truth, and some are ashamed to embrace the truth, let go of the past and move forward because of ego, you know. But do we know the truth? Yes. So, and some of our kids are going up now don't have that history, and because of the hardship, people are focusing more of what to eat, you know, and not every other thing becomes secondary. But all the same, we're sharing, I'm sharing your message, and I'm happy that, you know, I could say my siblings, you know, when they click on it, they listen, they will just say one or two things. So we'll continue to spread the gospel. They will not divide us. Equally know whom they are.
Yes.
Efik know whom they are. We know who we are. Trust me. All these things are all fake. Namde Kalo has done it. Nigeria came late. Namde Kalo
Very late.
has done it so well that anybody you wake up now from sleep that listen to Namde Kalo can tell you one or two things. So he did a great and marvelous job on that. So don't worry, when we start moving, well, you see how everybody's gonna fall in line. We don't have option, especially now that they've created 40 states, and they made the military and police state by state. If you don't, those who need empty land will come and take it over. You know, if you don't secure yours, there are people that need empty land, looking for where they stay in the bush. They will come and take yours. You won't have that option. Either you get up to fight for it, or they fight you and take your empty land. So all those things will fall in place whether they like it or not. You know, because that conquering is it there now? Yes. To conquer that is available for them to conquer. So we're not begging anybody right now. You know, who asked those people to get up to fight? They will have been sleeping. Let them go sleep. Sleep. You know, that is. So in the terms of Butuza, I want to touch that side. Butuza has come out one time that all those people from it. Butuza work with the United States of Biafra, and that's all. We don't hear his voice. He doesn't have to. He just need to focus on the training and do what they're asked to do. Because we can't ask him to come out and clarify or send somebody on his behalf. No, if the government said they should not, they shouldn't go beyond that. That's part of the training that they are having. You know, so Butus don't know his stand. People can use his name. Maybe there was a mistake before, and those mistakes are being corrected now. You know, and he know where he belongs. The government and the military defense know who is Butusa and where he belongs. So people can call his name as much as they want. That's their own problem. You know, we have seen evidence that they just want to use his name to make money. Like one in China, France, you know, Chika, Ike. They just want to use his name to make money. Men on ground. We don't have men on ground anymore. No. Maybe they do. United States of Biafra do not have men on ground anymore. We have our military. Please. This men on ground thing, which one is men on ground? Is that the name of a military, of an army? We'll go past that stage. We'll go that past stage. Butusa has come out, made this comment, make this stand known to everybody. People can carry propaganda. He doesn't have to come out all the time to defend himself. You know, the defense minister can do that if he wants to. If you talk about it today, tomorrow, our people will still believe whatever they want to believe. There's no two ways about that. And you can't change them. You know. So that, I just want to make that so that we're not expecting that guy to come and start talking crap for people that... look at the questions when the DPM come out. You can use it to imagine what goes on. The same question over and over. And there are some people who still come out to insult themselves. Some people that are not even even, she will not even hire. Maybe she's even in Nigeria, cannot even hire as a man or guardian man, self. You know, they come out because, you know, we're on social media talking. People that are not even, what do they have as one of the staff that he has here in US? You know, coconut head everywhere. So, my dear, Nigeria, we've learned our lesson. You've divided us one you did. Not anymore. Not anymore. Those who want to come out to make noise, you can never change everybody. People will still have to make their own choice of what they want and where they want to belong. That's human being for you. You can never be 100%. No. Even if you got that that will go home now, you still see people who, you know, want to stay on the other side. It's fine. After all, even right now in Nigeria, there are people that live in Ghana. You can live wherever you want to live. That's your choice. Some people in US here, you're talking about going home, they say, oh no, going to do what? They've decided to live their life here. You know, some, even when they die, they tell you take them home. Some, they say, don't worry about it, I'll bury me here. So these are choices of people. Please, my dear, you know, and we know where we're going. Those who want to go will go. Those who want to stay wherever they want to stay can stay wherever we want to stay. But you see this Biafra, like you read from one of the Igbo writers that said the dead bone or something will rise. Yes, we've risen. Simon Ekpa has said it. That we have come, the children and the Juku said that our children will come back for revenge. And someone has been hammering on that. We're going to revenge, and we are revenging. And we will get it this time around. So, we've risen. All those dead bones for nothing, purposely. They're out to revenge. Please, we'll put our DPM, and we're approaching May. I'm just so happy, and I pray, you know, the day the PM will come out. I don't know how it's going to be, you know, our PM and Nandakal. Oh my God. Oh my God. I pray God for that miracle one day. And when this happens, we are gone. Completely gone. Thank you, my brother. I will go back to background to listen.
Thank you so much, my beloved sister, for that amazing contribution. We appreciate you. And that will bring us to the rounding up of the program now. We have spent more than 3 hours for the day, so we're going to be rounding up. Let's go on the closing remark. We're starting from our beloved brother Maxwell. Bro Max, give us your closing remark as we round up the program.
Excuse me. Thank you so much, Mazuchis. I am tempted to equate the 3 hours you have spent lecturing the world, you know, the truth. 3 hours. If I monetize it right now, at least an hour will give you nothing less than, let's say in the US, in California, where my people is, maybe about 13 or $14 to $15 per hour. That is what you have spent 3 hours. About 14, 15. My sister, I don't know whether she stayed there. The hourly pay in the US, especially where my people are California, if you multiply it by these 3 hours that you have spent here, it's a good money. And it counts to your weekly, monthly salary. It's money. God will never allow any time that you have wasted go in vain.
See?
He will not do that for us. He won't do that to us. We have come a long way. We have been battered so much. We have been destroyed, and they continue to destroy us. As long as this generation exists, as long as God has given this generation the opportunity to master the use of communication and all the media system to propagate this news, this great news, this truth, these injustices meted out on our people that they try to cover by removing history, God will stand with us. Mazen Namdekanu is going to come out by the special grace of God.
See?
I am not, I have a descending spirit that I use to filter some of these men of God. There is one man of God that I've been posting to you and all the things that he has been, speaking about Mazen Namdekanu. And I believe that that man is always accurate. And whatever he said, I always put it to test. And at the time that you see them coming to pass. This man, the same man that prophesied that Mazen Namdekanu, he saw him in Nigeria. The same man that prophesied that water don't pass Gare, Nigerian government will be shamed for what they have done. And it happened. He said they don't have no case again, no defense, nothing. They would throw everything out. When being the evil that the Nigerian system is, they always want to find fault where there is no fault, blame where there is no blame, and who to blame for their irresponsibility and cruelty. I am going to use this opportunity to tell each and every one of you, like I said yesterday, we have to do everything that we can. God will be on our side. Support Dr. Anderson Orabezi and every cabinet member that is around her, that is fighting every day and night to make sure the recognition diplomatically worldwide that we have been anticipating to come to pass. May God bless you. May God bless Mazen Namdekanu. May God bless Samonekpa. May God bless you, the media warriors. May God bless you in the comment section. Great people in the comment section. God will never shame us. God not going to shame us this time. Thank you so much. And I would like to use this opportunity to tell you, we are also feeling the impact of the high tariffs against Trump. Our Trump is giving to us. So he slapped us 10% tariff
increase. Everybody go collect now.
I tell you, the man is a businessman. Everybody go collect.
You pay.
This is to show the world and these criminal leaders we have in Africa. When you fail to develop your land, you will pay for it. The worst thing is that I would have loved Trump to impose serious taxes on the resources and income of these political elites in Africa, so that they will pay more for stealing, so that they will bear the brunt instead of the poor to continue to bear the brunt of these high tariffs and sanctions. I would have wanted him to channel it to, especially in Nigeria, so that they will feel the impact when we fail. This is the reason why we want Biafra to come. And this is the reason why we are fighting and dying for the Biafra. We want to be even more than the European. If Biafra is allowed to come, let's say 5 years ago, most of the European countries that have developed for the past 20, 50, 100 years, what Biafrans, with the ingenuity and the talent that God has given to them, their gift of life, will turn it overnight. Will turn it overnight. When the world do not know what is called electromagnetic camouflage, you use them, you deploy them in 1967. What makes you think that we cannot do it? We will do it, and I pray any effort that you are putting to make sure that this comes to realization, God will bless you. Thank you so much for helping me. Thank you so much for helping my mother's ancestral land. And thank you for saving the life that we have managed to save with this, knowledge, with this information that we are passing to the world. Thank you so much. I love you all. May God bless all of you. Mazi Chicks.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Max. I appreciate you for that very amazing conclusion. And we go to my brother Akonye with try and make it shorter than you used to, so that we can round up to time, catch up with an appointment. Go ahead, my brother Akonye.
There's nothing much to say. In addition to what Uncle Max said about Trump slamming tariff on,
everybody go collect.
Let Trump slam it more on the poor people, so that the revolution for the disintegration and realignment of some of other countries will be organic from the people. Because Trump, the Westerners won't be the one that will change the face, like Ghana changes the face of their bad leadership. We that is looking for how to get away from Nigeria. When the whole thing hit us hard, maybe our brains we reboot and think better
for proper revolution.
For proper revolution. So nobody will see any reason to mold or snitch his brother again. So that's on that. On my parting remark is, food is ready. La mama put is not for who has no money. You are hungry. Oh. One thing is that you are hungry. Second thing is that there is food, but do you have the money to purchase it? And let me attribute it to our struggle. Some people are hungry. They are distasteful of the current situation in Nigeria, and then jump into Biafra, which is the food that is ready. Now, the capacity to purchase that food is the tenacity on their side to do the right thing, not to compromise. Many people are shouting today, we are tired of Nigeria, we want to go. But when you jump into that restaurant, seeing food there, the capacity is no longer according to you to make the purchase, which is your tenacity to stand on the truth. You will start allowing voices, and those voices will accrue up in your mind, and you can make a right choice again to know where you stand. We are not fool. Nobody will deceive persons like me. Because when you tell me that I should pack the item, that it is 7 in number, I will dare to confirm, recount it. And recounting it is for you to go outside the bus, look for the meaning of that Biafra. Is this Biafra worth for you to fight for? When you realize and come in terms with all that, it will make you a better fighter. It will make you a better follower. But if you do not know the real meaning of Biafra, what is making you to pitch your tent with people calling for separation of Nigeria? When you come in contact with the lousy people, you will become confused. Or when the leader that is leading you, just as they did our PM, happen, you will start ranting that you are confused. That I joined Biafra was not because of Simon Ekpa. That I joined to speak for Biafra was not even because of Nnamdi Kanu. It is because I know that Nigeria have marginalized me and marginalized my people, and there is no promising fate or good from Nigeria to me, to my brothers, and even to my unborn children. That is why I decided to talk about Biafra. And that is why when I followed Nnamdi up until when they sold him, I was able to pinch my tent with Simon. And today, he's not much available with us physically. I was able to pitch my tent with Dr. Ngozi. And I'm not saying that you must pitch your tent with Dr. Ngozi. But when you pitch your tent with whomever you like that is speaking for Biafra, in my advice and your own advice, could you please tell the person, can you focus on what we will do to make this Biafra something that will happen in my time? Could you please help me tell the person, as I am telling Dr. Ngozi, do the things that will get us this Biafra, not to attack your brother, not to feel superior over your brother. Because you being superior, you being the right man standing, will not get us Biafra. If you know that even if you get the Biafra come through your channel, that you will not chase me away, it will make you to present your thesis, your information about the things you know about Biafra, for you to convince me that when this Biafra come, there will be a level playing ground for me. But when you begin to attack me, attack your brothers, leave your arch enemy, it will put fear in me. So whichever corner you are, man it and coordinate it in more diplomatic way and in more mannerful way, void of attack to your brother, but much effort on doing the things that will put Nigeria in jeopardy and destabilize Nigeria. And while you are doing it, educate your people, enlighten your people. That you know much about Nigeria today, you know much about civil war, does not make it mandated that me I know. But the way you present it to me will help me to articulate and reason rightly and see the good news in your message. That's a little thing I will say today. And to you, Uncle Chooks, just as like our brother said, whatever we are doing is selfless of us. It is very costly now in Nigeria to buy data. But I do it not for anybody to pay me. For me to join your program, I'll buy like 1.5 data. So I do it every day, not for anybody to pay me or for people to praise me. But this is the little thing I will do for my country. Because everything is not all about gun. This is the way I am shooting my own gun today. Up until when the situation will demand that I carry physical gun to shoot my enemy. So all of us are contributing our quotas. So the God that is keeping us, giving us the strength, giving us the means, like me that is buying data, you that is also buying data to put up the program, he will be the one to replenish our strength, replenish our effort, and bless us. Give us the strength. We will not fall sick. And whatever we are doing that is giving us that money will not stop coming. Thank you so much for your work. And thank you to every Biafrans. As tomorrow is our fundraising. Those that have, come and give. Those that do not have, do not discourage who has not to give. Because mmiri doro ejula ọ dọkwara nwa nkịta. So udo dịrị onye ọbụla.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Akonya Wetere. I appreciate you for that amazing conclusion. Fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, I thank you all for your patience with us on the program today. All the contribution you have made on the comment section, those who are watching and sharing the program, Those who have subscribed today, please continue to subscribe. Continue to like the program and share to other platforms. Those who are watching on Facebook and the people watching on TikTok, I appreciate every one of you. I thank you for making this program a success. May Chukwu guide and protect all of you. Remember, tomorrow is our fundraising, a day we come together to support the United States of Biafra. Remember, the army of Biafra is decentralized, and we are trying everything humanly possible to make sure that Biafra land is protected. Remember, the primary objective of every government is to protect the life and property of its own people. That is exactly what the United States of Biafra, under Dr. Ngozi Arabweze, is doing today. I urge you all to turn up on the fundraising tomorrow to do the needful. May Chukwu guide and protect us, provide for us in everything that we lay our hand upon. May Chukwu give us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to fight until our freedom is complete. Already, Biafra has been declared, as you and I know. We are going on to recognition and full restoration, and it's going to cost money, effort, and commitment. I thank you all for your presence. May Chukwu guide and protect every one of you that have been part of this program, all the Biafrans across the world, lovers of freedom across the world. I pray that Chukwu guide and protect all of you. May Chukwu guide and protect our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Arabweze. May Chukwu guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. May Chukwu guide and protect our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Yohamadike of Biafra land. We pray that Chukwu Okike will grant our leaders wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Bring them back to us as soon as possible, and we will celebrate. Thank you for being part of this program. We'll see you again tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu. Thank you so much, and stay safe. See you next time.
The Biafrans reject the global conspiracy against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating, and it's been months up till now. No charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never, ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent, watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent life that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now.
Now one on one seven and a kitty annoying. Not to large, but no more believe MLM. But you don't want to run a bavo. The Malugo don't know, God don't conquer, don't you know, hule hule.